This is Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm E. Martinez.
And I'm Michelle Martin.
This morning report is next on WNYC. And then on Morning Edition, Hurricane Idalia's storm surge and power outages are complicating rescue efforts in Florida's Big Bend region.
We clearly have significant damage throughout the Big Bend region, but the response has been swift and people are getting help.
That story and more to come in about 15 minutes. We have rip current advisories from Long Island all the way down the Jersey Shore and beyond. And tonight a coastal flood advisory for Staten Island and Hudson and Essex counties in New Jersey. We're in for a stretch here of some nice weather. Mostly sunny and 77 today. We repeat that tomorrow, near repeat on Saturday, and then back to the 80s on Sunday and 90s on Monday and Tuesday. It's 6:51. It's 65 and partly sunny.
Support for WNYC comes from Mercy University, home of the Mavericks, offering new programs, services, and schools. More information at mercy.edu.
Do you work overtime but no one ever gives you time and a half? I invite you to listen up.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Charles Schwab. Schwab understands that wealth management is personal. That's why Schwab offers flexible, personalized financial planning crafted for their investors' individual goals. Learn more at schwab.com.
I'm David Brancaccio. It is not a done deal yet, but the Biden administration is pushing to make many more people eligible for special overtime pay if they work long days or long weeks. The idea is to require companies to pay overtime for most people who earn less than $55,000 a year. The threshold's been $35,600 a year. Marketplace's Justin Ho reports.
The types of workers who'd become eligible for overtime are mostly low to middle income workers, often in supervisory roles, says Peter Erasm, an economics professor at Iowa State University.
That usually ends up being, say, lower level supervisors in manufacturing, but also fast food or hospitality industries writ broad.
Erasm says those are exactly the same people who've been working long hours during the pandemic. One, because they've had to cover for the open positions employers haven't filled. And two, because many of those salaried workers currently aren't eligible for overtime.
And so there's an incentive for firms to perhaps overuse their salaried employees because it's less expensive.
If more workers qualified for overtime, some employers might reduce worker hours.
That also could mean that new additional workers are hired to make up those hours, so we might see an increase in employment.
That's Alex Colvin, Dean of Cornell's School of Industrial and Labor Relations. He says businesses might also raise base salaries above the proposed threshold of $55,000 a year.
Then I keep paying them a salary. I don't have to worry about overtime. I'll just pay them the flat salary.
Either way, Colvin says businesses would have to pay more for labor. Several business groups say the proposed rule would increase costs for businesses at a time when they're still grappling with inflation and workers are hard to find. But Kate Bond, research director with the Urban Institute, says the rule could help smaller companies compete for workers.
If they are able to offer similar job quality because public policy mandates that, they may find they have easier time recruiting workers.
Bond says smaller employers tend to have a harder time raising wages to attract good candidates. But if everyone has to pay people more, that can level the playing field.
And so it makes it easier for them potentially to hire if they know that all their competitors have to follow the same rules that they do.
In other words, having to pay out more overtime can help an employer fill positions they needed to fill anyway. I'm Justin Ho for Marketplace.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by C3 AI. C3 Generative AI provides ChatGPT enterprise search that is verifiable, secure, and accurate across all enterprise data. Learn more at c3.ai. This is Enterprise AI.
It's become a daily occurrence in the month that ends